Okay, remind me what my name is.
Miss
Bergstrom. Good work. Okay, so we all remember where I'm from. From Iowa. Yes. And I'm here to teach you a lesson. I'm making inferences. Say inferences.
Inferences.
Good. Okay, but first, I have this issue. So, Iowa State, the school that I go to, they give you these opportunities to go somewhere in the world, outside of the U.S. or inside of the U.S., to go work with kids. Maybe not teach them, but you could do a summer camp with them, or you could help them build something, things like that. So I told them I wanted to do it, but they said, sorry, Miss Bergstrom, but we can't tell you where you're going. But what they could do is send me this letter. So they sent me this letter that lists the things on it that I should bring with me. So if I read these things to you, do you think you can help me figure out where I'm going? Are you sure? I don't know. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Listen carefully. Dear Miss Bergstrom, please bring the following items to your departure. Light clothing, shorts, skirts, dresses, t-shirts. Okay. Flip-flops or sandals. A swimming suit. Towel. Sunglasses. Think specifically. Passport.
I was actually going to guess for
Sunscreen. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you there. Sincerely, Pat. Beach. Okay, raise your hand and tell me raise your hand and tell me where you think I might be going. Hawaii. Why do you think that?
Hawaii, there's tons of beaches.
Tons of beaches. Remember, I am from the USA. So what do I have that I read that is from the USA? Passport.
So you won't be going in USA, States, because you'll need a passport.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Where do you think? Thailand. I hope they're sending me to Thailand. That'd be cool.
Jamaica. It's a completely different country.
Kenya. Why Jamaica?
Well, because it's a completely different country. I've been there, and it's basically Hawaii as in a different country.
Do I need any of those?
You need every single one of them.
Oh, I bet it could be. Okay, 5th graders. So easily. Do you think I'm really going there?
No.
But what did you just do?
Make an inference.
You made an inference without even knowing it. You made an inference because you used evidence when I provided you that I have a towel, a passport, those things. And you use your schema. Do you know the word schema?
Yes.
Schema. What's schema? Yeah, what is schema? I say schema, you say schema. What is it?
For me, it's like for studying.
Uh-huh.
I like write down a little riassunto.
Summary.
A little
Summary.
summary of what I read.
When I think of schema, I think of what's in my mind, and I think of what do I already know about something, right? It's what you keep in there. So what do you already know? So you use the evidence. You use that a passport only can get me out of the United States, right?
Yeah.
So I can go to another country. You use that to make your inference. Cool? Good? Okay, let's read this. This up here is a learning target. I use learning targets in the United States to, show my students what I want them to get out of the day. Can you see up here? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Can you read this learning target with me?
Yeah.
Ready? I can use direct evidence to support my inference to fully understand different texts. So, eventually, if I were to stand here, I would want you to be able to use direct evidence from the text to help you support your inference, kind of like what you just did. So we're going to be working with this little thing, how you make your inference. And when you're making inferences, it's because you want to be a good reader, right? Most of you try to be good readers, right? Yeah, you should be. But you need to ask yourselves these questions. So what evidence am I given? Why am I making this inference, right? And what do I already know about this? So we asked those questions when we did that, didn't we? Right? Okay, let's do one. So, I have this picture. It's super small, so I'm going to kind of walk around with it and then hang it up. But I want you to think about what you're seeing. Look at this man.
That man's yelling at a phone.
Yeah, he's
think
probably
he's-
an employer and he's screaming at his employee.
Ah, do you see it?
Or maybe he's doing like billing and they're like, I'm going to send you back to the main menu. I want to eat the telephone.
Okay. All right, let me show you.
Nice.
Okay. Evidence. Evidence is clear, direct. It is straight from the picture, right? So we look at this picture and what do we see?
He's yelling at a phone. He's really mad.
Good. I see a man. I see a man screaming in the phone. I see a man with his eyebrows crinkled. I see a man in a suit.
So he's probably at work.
And a man with a tight fist around his phone.
He's probably
He's also
firing
called
someone.
Huh. So what do you know about those things?
He's on fire.
Oh, up here. Okay. What do you know about those things? If I was screaming in the phone, why could I be screaming in the phone?
Like you're at work and like someone's like not really doing the job well. Like if you're like an employer or something, and also it's the clock there is 12 o'clock and that's like it's like during a lot of people's work time.
Oh. Wow. Good eye. I didn't even see the clock. Nice.
You're mad at someone.
Oh, I'm mad at someone if I'm screaming in the phone. Let's see what I wrote.
If you're mad at the main menu.
When I'm screaming in a phone, I am usually upset about something. When I crinkle my eyebrows, I'm frustrated. When I'm dressed up, I'm usually at work, right? And when I'm squeezing something tight, I'm not happy. So, let's make an inference. So I can infer what? Raise your hand. Think about it. Raise your hand if you have it. I can infer this man feels from all that evidence, from your schema, this man feels
Sad.
Angry.
sad. What evidence did you see for that?
He said he's at work all day.
Upset about something.
Very true. Yes. So sad because. Yes.
Maybe very, very mad.
Huh? So I can infer the man feels mad. Should I write mad? Thumb up. Should I write mad?
Yeah.
Or ballistic.
Ballistic.
Ooh, good word choice. Ballistic. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Because mad. Because. Think about it. Think about it in your head. Mad because. Yes.
2, maybe because his sales are going down. Maybe he's the owner of a stock market, and his sales are going down because of a person, or because his mom made his cannelloni too rough.
Okay. So mad because probably he's at work, right? So
Yeah.
something at work.
Maybe he fired.
Maybe
He got
because
fired.
Just arrived
Or
at work and got fired.
something went wrong at work.
Yeah.
Let's write that because someone on the phone is talking to him and telling him
And
something's
sending him
going
back
on.
to the main menu.
I like that. Something went wrong at work.
That's not good.
All right, let's do one more picture. Oh, eyes up here. So this picture, think in your head to yourself. I don't want to hear you right now.
Whoa.
Think about what we could write in this evidence.
I don't know.
Oh my god, there's
If I hang it up, will you be able to see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do you notice? What do you see?
House break.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand.
Jailbreak.
Let's put maybe 3 things. do you
on
see?
the earthquake or
So what exactly do you see? Don't tell me what you think it is, because that's jumping to an inference. What exactly do you see?
water.
Water!
House falling down, breaking down the dam.
So water's doing what? Raise your hand.
Flooding.
Flooding, okay.
House falling down.
So we assume, but what there is for sure water doing something. What else?
So now a house
A house doing what?
tripping in the water.
Falling, breaking apart.
A house what? Hold on. I asked what's your name? Fred, 5th graders. Eduardo. Eduardo, what do you say?
A house tripping in the
A house, so falling over, right? A house falling over in the water.
That's
Let's do one more. What did I hear? Right? I don't think I heard. People what?
People around.
People running away. Huh?
They are.
People running away. Okay, so now dig into your schema and think. When there's water, that much water around you,
you feel.
what do you
Oh
think?
my God,
Oh,
what's happening?
think. Raise your hand.
by the water and ocean.
Uh-huh.
It looks like they had
Oh, but you're inferring. What happens when you? What happens when you see that much water? Have you experienced that? Has it happened?
Yes. Oh yes.
So when you see that much water, there's usually some kind of tsunami or flood.
In the sea.
Okay. So listen, I'm not going to write when I see, but this is your thoughts. Okay? Are we good with that? So I'm just going to write water, usually a flood. Okay? Now you'll be thinking, you'll be thinking of this next one. When a house is falling over, how do you feel? What is it? What's happening? What's your experience and what's in your schema?
Oh, it's the same time as the picture.
It's okay. What's your name again? Marco? Okay, Marco.
So, the people are scared and are running away from their house.
That's an inference. When you're running away from a house, though, or when your house is falling over, if my house were to fall over, what could be happening? So if a house is falling over, some kind of bad weather, right?
That's it out.
All right, last one, the best one. People are running away and they look really, really freaked out.
Yeah, it's
What is happening when you're running away from something?
Something
When I'm running away, I feel
scared.
mortified.
Angry.
And because your house is falling, so
absolutely angry,
sad.
sad,
Scared to death.
scared to death. Okay, let's write them all.
Well, some of these countries haven't even really developed yet, so they don't know what's coming after them. So they don't know what's happening.
Absolutely, for sure. Oh, 5th graders. Up here. Thank you. Okay, so let's make your inference. I want you to think in your head of your inference. I can infer the people feel. When you have one, raise your hand. Feel. You should have this. Kind of feel. How do they feel? Scared because have to provide evidence. Because what? What can you infer? Because their house is falling over. Wouldn't you be scared?
How do you know it's there?
We don't know. We're inferring.
This is never TV so.
Their house is falling
That's gonna be my house.
over. Okay. Fifth graders, eyes up here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. You feel good about inferring on pictures, using pictures, right?
Yes.
If I read you something, could you make an inference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try.
On the next one.
All right, listen super closely. You ready?
Yes.
We are inferring how the little boy, Max, feels. How he's feeling at this instant. Think to yourself about the questions. What evidence are you given in this scenario? And what do you already know about it? Okay, those 2 questions. You're being a good reader and a good listener, right? Ready? Scenario 1. Today was the day Max did not want school to be over. He was not ready to leave his friends. He hugged them tight and quietly walked away, thinking of all the times he had spent with them. When he got home, he did not talk. He went straight to his room, shut his door, and quietly lied on his bed, staring at the ceiling. Max took a deep breath and wiped the tears from his eyes. He thought about how much he would miss his home and where he was right at that time. Okay. So quietly think to yourself those 2 questions. What evidence are you provided? What do you already know? And what's your insight? Think to yourself. Okay, 5th graders, quietly turn to the person next to you and tell them what your inference is and what evidence you have to provide it. Turn to the person next to you and tell them.
Yeah, right. Okay, so, alright.
Evidence.
Okay, you go, Jessica. Okay.
Yeah,
That's I think he's moving. So he's hugging his friends. He's hugging his friends and he's crying, and he said that, you know, and the book said that he will never forget his house.
Because he wants school day to end. Back there crying.
His house.
And
I love his friends.
He's moving. It's the last day of school.
You know, he Max feels sad because it's the last day of school.
Maybe.
Maybe he's doing right.
I think he's sad because I think he's bored.
So you know what happened?
All right, 5th graders, eyes up here in 5, 4, 3. Okay, you had some awesome ideas, and I want to hear some of them. What evidence does this scenario provide you? What happens exactly in the story? What happened in the story? What is the evidence?
He's sad because
Nope, that's an inference. What exactly happens? With text, it's harder than a picture. Do you remember?
he's leaving school.
Leaving school. It says that. Leaving school. What exactly does he do? He got home. He did not talk. He went straight to his room, shut his door, and quietly lied on his bed, staring at the ceiling. What does he do?
He's gonna use his house.
But that's an inference. You are thinking that's what's happening, but what does the text say exactly happens?
Lying on his bed.
lying on his bed.
Lazaro or something.
Lying on his bed, staring at the ceiling?
Yes.
I'll just write staring. You know what that means?
Yeah.
One more. Ooh, I know a good one. Listen to this. Quietly lied on his bed, staring at the ceiling. Max took a deep breath and wiped the tears from his eyes. He thought about how much he would miss his home and where he was right at that second. What just happened? Exact evidence from the text. What just happened?
Took a deep breath and started.
He was crying. Crying? Should I crying? What's crying? What's the tear from his eye?
Tears.
Alright. You tell me then, from your schema, when you're leaving school, what's happening?
Go home.
You miss
I'm
your friends
really
for like
happy.
3 months. And
Yeah,
you
I'm
see them
happy.
for the next 9 months.
You're leaving school, so you're going somewhere else. When I leave school, I'm going somewhere else. I'm either going home or to
Easton.
another place, right?
Yeah.
So you're going somewhere, right? When you're lying on your bed staring, what are you usually doing?
Playing video games.
What do you know? Very true. You could be playing video games. Thinking. I like that one.
Studying.
Feeling sad for feeling sorry for yourself.
Sad. When I lay in my bed and I stare.
Studying.
Could be studying.
Renato, can
And
you play
playing
video
video
games on your
Raise your
bed?
hands. I can't hear you all talking at one time, so raise your hands. Yes.
Maybe you don't know what to do when you just lie in your bed. What the heck do I do?
Oh, so you're let's write. You're thinking. You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You're thinking, trying to figure it out.
Amy.
And when you're crying, what's usually the problem? Uh-huh. Sad. You cry when you play video games. Yeah. Sometimes I do too. They freak me out.
Or maybe. Oh no.
No. I create something to me.
Yeah.
I think that we have too much homework.
Yeah. Sometimes I cry when I have too much homework.
This is for some people, not a lot. You sit on your bed and watch
Some people, not for.
sit on your bed and
Alright,
eating
good
ice
creator.
cream while crying.
And listening it down.
I'm just going to the fridge to grab a huge snack.
Two. One more. We're almost finished. Let's keep going. Alright, so you're probably sad. Is that what we're getting at with the story, seriously? Right? Is he? Okay. So you're probably sad. So you can infer that Max feels what?
Sad.
Depressed.
Okay, all of you say whisper one word on the count of 3. Whisper, whisper, whisper. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, good. I like that word.
Yeah,
Also
despair.
can't play video games.
Renato, everything with you has to do with video games.
Yeah. Max feels sad or despair because now thinking, because what?
Banana.
Because
It's probably the last day of school and he's moving somewhere, so.
a lot of you had a lot of really good ideas that were pretty relatable to your own lives.
Yeah.
He said because he's leaving school, going somewhere, probably not going to come back. Yeah?
Since he's never coming back, he might be like going to a war.
Yeah, he might be going to fight in the war.
But he's a
Maybe. Some people said he might be going to college.
Or
So
that.
let's write because he's leaving and not coming back.
He's gonna make friends there.
Okay. Quickly, raise your hand. If you can hear my voice. Raise your hand if you can hear my voice. Okay, so I was going, girls and boys, up here. I was going to give you a sheet that had a scenario on it, but we are really, really, really cutting close on time. The sheet looks like this. I will leave it with Miss Schneider, so she can do it with you later if she would like, to make sure you were listening and paying attention and understand. So it has another scenario on it, and I will read it to you quickly so you can hear it and be thinking about your inference. And then I'll ask you a couple questions. So this is the second scenario. And you will fill this out on your own. The evidence from the story, exact evidence, what you already know, and your inference at the bottom, just like we've done the whole time up here, okay? And you'll do that, and maybe I'll come get them from Miss Schneider if she has extra time during the day, to see if you understand.
Are you living today?
No, I'm not. Okay, let's listen. Listen to this. Jane's hands were shaking. As she walked up to the free throw line, she looked at everyone sitting in the crowd. There was 1 minute left. The score was tied, and she knew the game depended on her. She could hear everyone cheering her name as she got closer. Slowly, she stepped up to the line. She closed her eyes tight, and when she opened them, she knew she had to do something. She took a deep breath, dribbled the ball, and took the shot. How does Jane feel, and why? So, I will leave these with Miss Schneider.
That's definitely adrenaline.
The game is counting on her.
Yeah.
And I want you to do something for me. I want you to try your best in filling it out. I want you to show me you know what an inference is, how you have to use evidence to support your inference from the text, right? Raise your hand quickly, fifth graders, if you can tell me something you learned today from me. Raise your hand.
What an inference is.
What an inference is. What is an inference?
Oh yeah. It's exact. No, yeah, an exact.
Understand different texts.
So the things you know.
Uh-huh. Plus,
Schema.
so schema are the things you know,
An example.
and evidence to create your inference. Raise your hand if you learned something else.
That you have to add evidence and schema to get your inference.
Absolutely.
Your inference always has to start with a feeling.
Today we did feelings, but you can infer other things. You can infer locations, people, ideas. You can infer lots of different things. This is just one, but good thinking.
Learn how to do evidence and schema.
Absolutely. And last one. Want to share? I didn't learn anything else. I guess we did only talk about inferences. What questions do you have to ask yourself?
What you I learned first. I didn't even know what a schema was.
Good.
But then in the middle I still didn't know. But at the end now I know.
Good. I'm happy. Okay, fifth graders, I had so much fun with you, and I'm excited to see you around campus now, and I can say hi.
Where can?
Oh, here.
I'm
Come
on the
around,
basket.
okay?
Yeah, you
So-
definitely ride my bus.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I see you.
I do basketball.
Thank you, and I'm glad that you were learning and had some fun. Cool.